Hey everyone! Last month, I was invited by Blizzard to attend a Warcraft Summit in Irvine, California. It's an incredibly exciting year for the Warcraft franchise, and being part of the small people who were chosen, I felt incredibly honored to be there. Not only is it the 15-year anniversary of World of Warcraft, but also the 25th anniversary of the Warcraft franchise as a whole. In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience at the Warcraft Summit, but also briefly take a look back at the history of Warcraft, and why it is such a monumental year for the franchise. It was the year 1994, 25 years ago. Warcraft Orcs and Humans, a real-time strategy game, or RTS, published by Blizzard Entertainment, was released. Although it wasn't the first multiplayer RTS of its time, it featured elements to its gameplay that were new and innovative at the time. The main objective was to essentially build your own home base through collecting various resources, building up an army, and destroying your enemy. The game was so successful that it won several awards and opened up the door for its sequel, Warcraft 2: Tides of Darkness, in 1995 for DOS and 1996 for Mac OS, and with its success, an expansion pack, Warcraft 2: Beyond the Dark Portal. In Warcraft 2, players were able to craft more advanced units within their home base compared to that of Warcraft Orcs and Humans. And, as with the repeated success of Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3: Reign of Chaos was released in 2002, with its expansion pack, The Frozen Throne, released in 2003. It was the first 3D rendering from the Warcraft franchise. In it, players were able to choose from 4 factions: humans, orcs, night elves, and undead, as well as the addition of heroes as playable units. A great majority of the storyline, characters, locations, and more from Warcraft 3 were a huge part of World of Warcraft, released in 2004, 15 years ago. WoW went on to become the world's most popular MMORPG by 2009, and has since become one of the highest-grossing video game franchises of all time. Flash forward to Tuesday, May 7th. The location is Irvine, California. The event is a Warcraft Summit to discuss future plans for the franchise, as well as reflect a bit on the past 25 years. I was invited by Global Community Engagement Manager at Blizzard Entertainment, Josh Allen, to attend the summit. I had previously met Josh a few weeks prior to that at PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts, and shared my enthusiasm and excitement for classic WoW with him. Although we didn't meet for very long, I got the impression that he was a very chill guy who was making a conscious effort to meet more WoW content creators. Being that this summit was going to reveal a lot of upcoming information about Classic, I was thrilled when Josh asked me if I'd be interested in attending. Back in November, I joined a Classic-focused stream team entitled Classic Crew, which was created by the guys who run ClassicCast, SFan, Stay Safe, and Tips Out. Wanting to cultivate a small but diverse group of Classic streamers, they formed Classic Crew to set up collaborations, promote community building, spread Classic hype, and more. I was really excited when asked to be a part of it, and can't thank them enough for the doors that have opened as a result. Through the Classic Crew, I began writing Classic guides on classic.wowhead.com, which is something that I'm happily a part of, working on content on almost a daily basis. I've also met so many members of the Classic community. I was never part of the private server hype, having never played on Nostalrius or any of the other ones. I was a pure vanilla player who just continued playing WoW through all of its expansions. So going back to the start, almost 15 years later, this has been a dream come true for me. I asked Josh if it was okay if Daria, aka Pastaface, joined me on the trip. I knew that at the event, I'd have an opportunity to interview developers, and I figured, since her professional background is in film, video, and directing, her objective would be to film the event for me. All of the footage that you see in this video was filmed by her. We sorted out all of our travel plans and itineraries. We took a connecting flight from JFK Airport in New York to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, and then from there, a quick flight to SNA, John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California. The hotel we stayed at was in Irvine, and we soon discovered that almost all of the press and content creators that were invited to this event also stayed in that same hotel. We got up the next morning pretty early, maybe around 7 a.m. or so. It was already 10 a.m. in New York, so we weren't particularly tired when we woke up. So this event was planned to go from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. There was a shuttle bus outside the hotel that bussed all of us to the event. Getting on the bus was pretty funny. It felt like all of us were headed on a class trip. We arrived at the event location close to 9 a.m. We were given itineraries for the day, and a little bit of swag, too. Demo stations were set up to be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and each PC featured Battle for Azeroth 8.2 PTR, World of Warcraft Classic, and Warcraft 1 through 3, all with the capability to capture gameplay. Developer interviews were set to take place from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. My interview time was 1:40 p.m. to 2 p.m., with Ian Hazakostas and Kalia Shi. There was a gallery experience, or as we called it, a pop-up museum on the first floor, that highlighted the 25th anniversary of Warcraft and 15th anniversary of World of Warcraft. Various pieces of artwork, memorabilia, relics, and collectibles were all on display. This was the first place we visited. We spent a lot of time in this room, going through each piece featured. Among the pieces that really stood out to me were hand-drawn pieces of art by Chris Metzen. Another cool thing to see were the old World of Warcraft credit cards on display. I would totally sign up for one of those, by the way. Breakfast was served shortly after, and we mingled more outside. I also met up with my pal Marie, business operations manager for World of Warcraft, and reconnected with a bunch of other familiar faces that we met at BlizzCon last year. At 10 a.m. was the keynote presentation. In it, they first recapped what was going on in BFA, Patch 8.2, Rise of Ishara. The whole presentation took about 35 minutes. Then, finally, the moment I was waiting for, they moved on to the classic portion of the keynote. I knew this was going to be big news, and the presentation itself wasn't very long. They basically revealed the release date of Classic WoW to us, August 27, 2019, and the start of the closed beta, May 15, 2019. After that information was given, the keynote presentation ended with the World of Warcraft 15th Anniversary Collector's Edition and all of its features. Finally, as the keynote ended, they invited everyone to head on over to the demo computers and begin playing the game of their choosing. Naturally, all of us Classic people headed over to the same area and booted up the game almost immediately. We were given access to the Classic Alpha. On the Alpha realm, when we created a character, it started at level 40 for testing. The test characters came with some gear, gold, a mount, and more. As Pasta and I were getting ourselves situated, she saw a Blizzard employee standing off to the side, watching us fire up the Classic Alpha, and asked him if there were any outlets she could use. She soon realized that the person she was speaking to was Omar Gonzalez, senior software engineer at Blizzard Entertainment, and one of the people hugely responsible for making Classic WoW happen. Omar joined Blizzard in January of 2003, and has been working on World of Warcraft quality assurance, gameplay engineering, server engineering, and more over the past 16 years. Omar had told Pasta that he's a fan of the stream and tunes in often. He soon walked over and introduced himself to me. We chatted for a bit, and he had to go head into some interviews, but said that we'd chat more later. Soon thereafter, I created my first character on the Alpha. Naturally, I made a paladin. But after inspecting the armor, I realized that I didn't have any intellect gear. All of the gear was strength, agility, and stamina, but we didn't have a two-handed weapon. You can imagine how Esfand must have felt. I decided to roll a priest. We got a group together and head to Scarlet Monastery, library. Esfand, Stay Safe, Pasta, and myself made our way there. Esfand ended up tanking as a prot pally, and I healed on my priest. It was a really fun, smooth run. We experimented with a few more things, but before too long, it was lunchtime. We ate lunch with Perculia and Liam Knapp and got to learn a little bit more about their backgrounds. Pasta and I got to our interview room to meet with Ian and Kalia. Not only were they very professional, but really personable too. They were happy to answer all of my questions. I wanted to ask a few that were a little bit different to start off, kind of like an icebreaker, and then move on to a few more technical questions. I linked my interview with them in the description below for those of you who'd like to see it. After our interview, we saw Omar outside again, and I had another chance to chat with him for a while. We exchanged WoW memories and stories. It was a great conversation. Pasta and I head back to the demo area and continued to gather footage and explore the Classic Alpha. Not before too long, it was time to wrap up. It was already 6 p.m. and the dinner mixer was about to begin. We transferred all of our recorded footage to the flash drives given to us. As we were wrapping up, we got a chance to meet with Brian Birmingham, lead software engineer at Blizzard Entertainment, who serves as the technical lead for the engineers building World of Warcraft Classic. Brian's been working at Blizzard since 2006, and was an absolute pleasure to speak to. After a lovely conversation with Brian, we head on outside for dinner. It was a gorgeous night, and they had a beautiful setup of food catered. Sliders, a taco stand, veggies, pretzels, open bar. We sat back down to eat with Esfand, Stay Safe, Tips, Perculia, and soon Josh Allen, Omar, and Ian all sat down and joined us. It was really awesome that Ian, Omar, and Josh took the time to sit with us and just chat. They didn't have to. They could have gone home, they could have been talking to fellow coworkers, but they didn't. They decided to sit with us and answer any questions that we had, and just kind of reminisce and share stories about Warcraft in general. And that's something that I'll never forget, that they took the time to do that. We soon headed back to our hotel, and prepared to pack our things to leave early back to New York the next morning. As per our NDA, Non-Disclosure Agreement, we were unable to speak of the events that occurred until the following week, Tuesday, May 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. We spent that week organizing footage, putting together videos, gathering our thoughts. We were so overwhelmed but excited at the same time. We knew it was crunch time. That week was incredibly busy, but at the same time exciting too. I couldn't wait to share this story with everyone. We livestreamed the night of May 14th to share our story. And the following day, the Classic Beta launched, and we've been livestreaming our gameplay almost every single night. I've made several videos related to the beta, but I've just met so many awesome people over the past few months. I am so humbled and grateful to be a part of this movement. I started playing World of Warcraft the day it was launched on November 23rd, 2004. I never imagined that I would be invited by Blizzard to attend a Warcraft Summit to learn information about the recreation of the game that started it all for me, and get the opportunity to test it out. I'm thankful for everyone who has helped pave the path for me to be where I am today. I've been on the grind, non-stop for almost 2 years, and to see that progress has been made and that things are happening, validate my own hard work and inspire me to keep pushing harder each day. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I look forward to sharing more of my Warcraft experiences with you in the future. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. You could also subscribe to my YouTube channel to show some support, and follow my live stream at Quissy TV over on Twitch. I just recently got partnered on Twitch and I couldn't be more excited. So thank you everybody for all the support. And finally, you could follow me over on Twitter at Quissy TV as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you soon.